Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Tropical update number 42. Now on post-tropical cyclone Henri, Invest 97L, Invest 98L, and an area of interest. Yes, the Atlantic is getting rather busy. I know I said I wasn't going to do tropical update today. I thought I was going to get a day or two of downtime between Henri and worrying about one of these three systems. But alas, here we are. Just to describe it to you, Henri is located over New England at the moment. Invest 97L is that one located in the center of those three orange blobs. That's Invest 97L. Invest 98L is located south of the Cabo Verde Islands, and it'll be moving to where 97L is at right now. Then that area of interest is the one probably of biggest concern, at least in terms of threat to land, and could become rather significant in terms of impacts, making its way into the Caribbean Sea and then the Gulf of Mexico as we move on with time. Let's begin first with post-tropical cyclone Henri. As we can see, it still has its cyclonic rotation to it, but the winds are nothing like, of course, what it was in its prime. Winds down to 25 miles an hour. Flash flood warnings remain in effect for, I think, one county in Massachusetts and a few counties in southern Vermont and New Hampshire, kind of where we have that green and blue at over southern Vermont and New Hampshire right now, denoting a little bit of convection. Next full advisory from the Weather Prediction Center will be at 11 Eastern. That's probably the last one. Maybe they'll do one more, but that's about enough of Henri. Let's move on to tropical Invest 97L. Invest 97L has a 10% chance of formation in the next 48 hours, 40% in the next 5 days. As we see, it may have a little bit of rotation to it. Clearly, has at least something going on. Not a whole lot of convection in it. We see some reds up there in the left-hand side of the screen, but the main area we're watching is down more towards the corner. So again, we're just going to continue to watch this storm for potential updates, and I'll show you guys an animation of predictions here at the end. Let's take a look at the models. As we see many models developing this storm to at least some extent, we kind of like low-key track it for the next 4-ish days, and then after that, as we head into day 5 days from now, on Saturday, we'll finally begin to see this storm start to develop. As for now, I'd say let's call it tropical depression strength throughout the next 4 days or so. So nothing too crazy in terms of wind. It's probably not even going to be organized by then. But then after that, we could see some development into a tropical storm. So we'll continue to monitor that, of course, with time. As we see in Invest 98L, much the same deal. This one has much better convection with it. And we can see down on those lower clouds, you can kind of see where the lower clouds are. We get a little bit of spin, but it's really nothing too crazy to write home about at this point in time. If this does get its act together, it has a chance to briefly become some sort of tropical cyclone. Again, the same odds as the previous one, 10 and 48 and 40 in 5 days. So again, we'll continue to watch this for development. It could develop later next week instead. And if we go ahead and look at the next slide, we can kind of see there's not a whole lot of model support for this storm. Of course, those intensity guidances really aren't accurate until this storm really has a center. And those few models right there also tend to overperform in the early stages of tropical cyclone development. So take everything here with a grain of salt on 98L, but the real concern, I think, is going to be in our area of interest making its way towards the Caribbean Sea. The few things that are cool to note on this more zoomed out satellite image than I normally show you guys. One, we see a huge trough dipping down through the Bahamas into Hispaniola, very clearly, coming down almost due south with those winds there. And we see the afternoon thunderstorms firing across South America and even parts of Mexico with and that's just kind of generally what's going on. But beyond that, that's where your eye gravitates to first. But beyond that, south of Hispaniola, north of South America, we can see a tropical wave making its way towards Nicaragua and Honduras. And from there, that'll have an opportunity to form National Hurricane Center, giving this a 50% chance of formation in the next 5 days. And I'll show you guys why right now. The European ensemble members are decently confident, at least at this far range, that we'll have some sort of something north of Honduras heading towards the Yucatan or Belize here in about 5 days' time. This is not the end of its potential of formation. This will certainly survive the Yucatan. The Yucatan is not really that mountainous compared to something like Hispaniola or Cuba or mainland Mexico. And so we'll continue to watch this for development as it makes its way, as we can clearly see that it's moving to the Gulf of Mexico. So again, we're going to watch this very carefully for potential development. And now we'll show you guys an animation of what might happen over the next 5 days. Taking a look at the GFS, let's take a look at that wave down in the Caribbean Sea first. This is moving very, very slowly. And we see it form a little bit south of Cuba, near Honduras right there. And this is about 5 days from now. As we head on with time, we could see another decently strong storm along the Mexican coast. Let's take a look now at Invest 97L, now making its way towards Bermuda in the central Atlantic. And then we wait a little bit, we get towards 5 days, and we see that low pressure pop up on the map. And it strengthens decently quickly, becomes post-tropical, and makes its way off to the Azores. 98L is that low pressure down there in the Western Atlantic, or Eastern Atlantic right now. It kind of forms a kink in that trough, a trough of low pressure there. But it's really nothing that ends up developing on this particular model. Let's take a look at the European ensemble overview. We can see Henri located up there in Henri's future tracks over New England. We can see 97 making its way up towards Bermuda, but not all the way. And then a lot of different scenarios in terms of directions that this storm might go. We can see 98L's kind of potential formation tracks. And of course, our area of interest located over the Caribbean Sea right now, making its way into the Gulf of Mexico with a wide range of impacts possible in terms of a wide range of strengths possible with that storm. So again, we'll see what happens. My main two concerns at the moment are Invest 97L and our area of interest. Invest 97L in terms of potential strength, and that area of interest in terms of land impact and also strength. 98L is kind of going to be a side topic, I think, to these two storms for the time being. And again, Henri probably won't even be something I'll be able to talk about in tomorrow's update, which I'll hopefully get out by 2 p.m. Central, and hopefully Wednesday's update by 6 p.m. Central. It's a little bit of an odd schedule on my Tuesdays and Thursdays due to classes to try to get out a midday update instead of an evening update, and with potential storms instead of tropical storms, it's better to do midday updates, just kind of how things work, because the evening models tend to go a little crazy in terms of potential strength. So we want to mitigate that as much as we can. So again, we'll continue to give you guys updates on all of these storms and potential storms as time progresses. That's all for now. Chris 6 and everyone, Catholic Media.